for joining me. Had a relatively mild day around western North Carolina. Clouds moved in and out, but that's all setting up for a strong front that will move through over the next 24 to 36 hours. And let's turn around. We've got our western North Carolina webcams up. These are our weather cams. Grimes, Tice Anderson, Henco Reprographics, Olivet, Riverside Community, and the Haywood County Farm Bureau insurance cameras. You can always check those out up here on the website, AstroWX. You can go and it's the WNC webcams tab. You can pull those up. Just click there and you can see each one of those. But let's talk a little bit about this Arctic front that's going to be moving through. Some thunderstorms could be on the front end. Depends on how much clearing occurs tomorrow. This model shows limited sunlight, so if we don't get a lot of destabilization in the atmosphere, there's a chance that those thunderstorms stay a little bit farther south and don't impact, and we just get heavy rain around western North Carolina. But as I run this through, you can see around 10 or 11 o'clock is when the heaviest rain will move through, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and after that, temperatures will plummet. You'll see this moisture begin to stream in on the backside, and somewhat of a deformation feature on this backside, and it strains itself out through the mountains of western North Carolina. And I believe those winds will pick up, and the temperatures will be cold enough Sunday morning to where those thunderstorms stream into western North Carolina, and the surrounding areas. Could even see them make it out of the mountains and into the foothills just a little bit. So as you can see, we'll run that through. Those dissipate by around the noon hour, and I believe roadways will be clear. The main roads shouldn't be any problem for travel Sunday afternoon. The sun should come out, but something to watch for, and we'll also see the chance for another little clipper system on this backside into Monday. But main focus right now is right here, this backside that will move in on Sunday morning. So that's something that you should watch for. We'll see. That's Sunday morning. Thunderstorms could wake you up right as you go to sleep on Saturday night, moving in around 10 or 11. And then, like I said, that cold air will rush in from the northwest and inundate the mountains of western North Carolina. And with that will be a stream of moisture that strains itself out on the Appalachian Mountains. So we'll show you. That's what the NAM shows. The GFS, very similar, cuts that low up the apps and then intensifies it off the coast. Brings a really strong winter storm up here to the northeast. We got state of emergency declared in Pennsylvania already. So this will lay down some snow. Then that will allow cold air. Just that cold air allows the air to not be modified as much, or that snow on the ground as it moves in from the north. So let me just run this through, and I'm going to show you guys kind of the pattern that's setting up. An interesting front that kind of occurs and develops off another Arctic front. This Gulf low, not exact. The models are struggling with it. This will be Thursday, Wednesday into Thursday. So models have really been struggling with the solution that this will bring forth. You can see the GFS takes that low and ejects it really quickly up north. Some models have been taking that on a more typical pattern, transferring it to the Atlantic and moving it more north. But you can see we're gonna continue to get these really cold shots of air, and on these backsides we'll have the opportunity for clipper systems as well. And with it being so cold, it's not going to take much moisture to produce snowfall and accumulating snow rates. Snowfall rates when you get this cold are really enhanced, and from an inch of rainfall, you can get rates as much as 1 to 25 inches of snow. So take a half inch of rainfall or a quarter inch of rainfall could equate to over 5 inches of snow. That's just how things work in the atmosphere. As things get colder, snow stacks on itself a little bit easier, and so we're going to experience that as these Arctic fronts continue to drop in. We've got a separation of the polar vortex that looks imminent, and that's what's going to cause these cold shots. So let me, and these long range are just for you to a grain of salt to kind of show you the pattern of these really strong blocking highs moving in, and that cold air funneling in, and we've got low pressures developing off of that. So a lot of times with these really strong highs, they suppress everything, but it appears that we're going to have a good stream of moisture that interacts with these fronts that move through, and you can just see just cold after cold, and then shot of low pressure. So one of these is going to line up, and in my opinion, give a decent snowstorm in the next 2 to 3 weeks to western North Carolina. I can't, dates are hard to nail down, and there will be multiple opportunities, but I'm keying in on the next couple weeks being what we thought we were going to see this winter, and a really uptick in the winter weather department. So run this through. You can just kind of see, and most of the models show this. Here's what the European model shows for tomorrow as well. The European model, some of the ensembles, and the main member showed a decent snowfall event in the long range as well. So we're watching those closely. Something to just take with a grain of salt, but know that the real cold temperatures are coming, and that some models are showing moisture lining up with that. So hey, take it with a grain of salt, but it's a pattern that is conducive to producing winter weather, and it's within the next 5 days. This first Arctic front will set the stage, and then the models have it and really seem to intensify the pattern. So you can see those high pressures just bringing in really cold air. We're going to see some of the coldest air of the season on Monday morning, dropping into the low teens, even single digits for some around western North Carolina. Here you see that low. This is the CMC. The Canadian model, also showing that development off of this Arctic front into Thursday. Still a lot of uncertainty with that. You remember how the GFS took it as a coastal low. This takes it as kind of an app runner, and then, really enhances it and kind of bombs it out over land. So very interesting track there. Lots of differing solutions. And but just something to watch and be aware of, and know that the uncertainty exists for the next 7 to 10 days and even farther out. So, like I said, lots of uncertainty, but you know me, I've got my eye on the models and won't let anything sneak up on us. So, thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great evening. And watch for that snowfall tomorrow evening Sunday morning. So thank you for joining me. Have a great evening.